Podcasts never change. Welcome to the Chimera Podcast.
Beautiful. So this is now the third episode of the Chimera Podcast. I am your host, Tyler.
And I am also your host, Hayden.
Today, we'll be talking about some stuff and some other stuff, like, what do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Ryzen CPUs.
I was thinking we could end with the Ryzen CPUs. Those are the most interesting part. They'll take up the bulk of it, so let's get the silly shit out of the way first.
You found that Forbes magazine for memes.
Oh, okay. So I was scrolling through Reddit the other day, and I found that the subreddit Meme Economy has started making their own meme magazine called Meme Insider. There will be a link in the description. Meme Insider is basically Forbes magazine for memes. It's absolutely hilarious. I think in the January issue, they did an interview with Ken Bone. They talked about Pepe's. There was a small editorial piece about Russian soldiers or something like that. It's absolutely hilarious. You should definitely check it out and invest your memes wisely.
Yeah, don't they make it so that you can see a real value of memes?
Yeah, they use Google search statistics to see the value of memes, and they talk about parent-daughter meme relationships and all kinds of different things. It's pretty ridiculous, but it makes a lot of sense at the same time. Oh, we're only a little over a week away from the release of the Nintendo Switch.
Yes, we are, and we were talking about earlier, trying to see how much RAM it had and whatnot, and it actually has upgradable memory. Obviously not upgradable RAM, but actual upgradable storage. It comes with a 32 gigabyte, and then you can upgrade it to whatever you want, I guess.
I think you have to use micro SD cards. And on the RAM, it's got 4 gigabytes, and that's only half of what I believe the PlayStation and the Xbox have. They each have 8 gigabytes, but you have to remember that this is a mobile device, so it has to be a little bit less powerful. And 4 gigabytes should be fine from what I'm seeing. I mean, it's not like a bottleneck for the games. It uses a specially designed NVIDIA Tegra chip that NVIDIA made just for the Nintendo Switch. You're not going to see it anywhere else. And if it's anything like the NVIDIA Shield devices, I mean, that means it's going to have some power. You've seen the demos for Breath of the Wild and stuff. I mean, it definitely looks like it's capable of rendering some pretty quality graphics.
Yeah, but what game was it having trouble
on? It wasn't having trouble. It's just already there are games that are too large for the internal storage, which means you're almost definitely going to have to buy SD cards, and that's if you plan on playing digital games. You'll still be able to go to the store and buy those little Nintendo DS looking cartridge things, and those you won't have to worry about the memory as much.
Also, we were talking about this. It has a 3-hour lifespan for most games. If you actually don't have it plugged in and you want to walk around and game on it, maybe for a long car ride or something,
or even if you're on a plane.
Yeah, or if you're on a plane, you have 3 hours of gaming before it dies, which is absolutely insane.
And I bet you they'll have car chargers and
wall
chargers
most definitely.
For it. So I'm sure you won't only be able to charge it on that base that it comes with to hook it up to your TV.
And even if Nintendo doesn't supply them, you'll be able to find them on Amazon the day it comes out.
No, I don't trust that anymore. I don't trust third-party chargers. Not since people's chargers started killing their phones. They're dangerous.
Yeah, I guess, but then you can just report the seller, and Amazon will take care of them.
Yeah, but that's not going to get you your phone back.
This is true. I haven't had any problems with that. I almost 100% of the time use third-party chargers.
The only time I use third-party cabling is for the 10-foot USB cord I use to connect my Xbox controller to my TV. That's the only time I...
You're 10 feet away from your TV when you game.
No, I'm 10 feet away from my computer when I game. So I don't want to have to like move my computer from my desk to my TV every time I want to play a game on my TV. So instead, there's a Kindle Fire Stick, and you can get this app on the Kindle Fire Stick that allows you to NVIDIA game stream from your computer to your TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I plug my controller into the TV, and if you have a wireless controller, you can hook it up to the Fire Stick instead of your computer. But I like to use the wired controller. I feel like it has a little bit better response time, and I just hook it up to my computer, and I sit right on my bed and I play games, and it's really cool. I mean, you need pretty powerful internet to be able to do it, but
okay.
if you have that good, like, maybe I think at the very least you're going to need like 50 megabits per second internet. But if you have at least that, I mean, you're going to have a stellar experience with not much dropped frames.
I did not know that at
It's
all.
really cool. You can do the same thing like the real version of it is called the NVIDIA Shield TV, which is a much more powerful way to do it. But I mean, think about it this way: it costs like $100 and some odd to get a NVIDIA Shield TV, but Kindle Fire Stick is like 15 or 20. So when you're looking at like cost to performance, it's actually an extremely good value, and the app for the Kindle Fire Stick's free as well. So, but you have to have a NVIDIA graphics card. I do not believe it's possible to do with an AMD.
All right, so my Fire Pros, gonna have to get rid of them. Anyways, I'm actually gonna upgrade to that Titan X because
Is it the Titan XP or something like that?
No, just the old school Titan X because we have one left over in the office, and
Might as well.
Well, my main reasoning for it is my one Fire Pro is dead. It's dead. I swear.
Chill.
Well, listen, it's getting up to 90 degrees Celsius resting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what you could have possibly done. Maybe there's some sort of temperature control thing that you destroyed.
Well, what I did was I checked the fans. They're running at max on that graphics card. It just will not stay cool. And I think I fried it. I don't know. I was doing some editing and for video editing. For you guys who don't know, that's what I do. I was working on this commercial, and I just start hearing this fan crank. This thing's going fast. So I pull up and check my heat. And I'm like, this is at 102 Celsius right now. So I just saved it, quit, and then the temperature drops to 90, and I'm like, all right, it's going to drop a little more. The software is closed. Everything's closed. I'm just going to sit here, let it cool down. And it didn't go under 90 resting. But the other Fire Pro was resting at 50.
So there was like a massive difference in temperature.
Yeah, but so I thought maybe it was because my Fire Pros are close together. There wasn't enough air going to the top one. So I went and I switched them. But now, slot 2, which used to be slot 1, still will not dip under 90, and the other one's still resting at 56.
I actually just overclocked my 1080 the other day. I got it to, even with these overclocks, it still idles at like 40 degrees Celsius. And when I put it under heavy load, like if I'm playing Battlefield and I play on max graphics, I get 60 frames per second solid, and my temperature never goes above like 68 degrees. It's pretty nice. But I have it overclocked at plus 800 megahertz on the memory clock, and plus 320 megahertz on the core clock, which is like outstanding. I was really impressed with I played the silicone lottery and I won. My graphics card handled the overclocks like a champ.
Are you on the stock cooler?
Yes, I'm on the stock cooler.
Oh,
But
wow,
my
okay.
PC has a ton of fans in it. Actually,
okay.
I just got.
So that helps.
I had like I thought I had every space I could put a fan on the case like filled. I was wrong, and then I noticed there was 2 more places for fans, so I got 2 fans from Ray. He gave them to me for free.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah. So
is that because he did his RGB upgrade and he's like, I only want RGB fans?
his computer, like I was over at his house the other night, and he has so many LEDs in that computer. It's ridiculous, but hey, it looks beautiful. So
I feel like Ray's one of those guys who just loves LEDs. Like, if he could, he would have LEDs on everything.
We should totally bring in Ray for like next week's podcast.
Ray can come in.
Ray can come in? All right. You heard it here first. Next week, episode 4. Ray Lamone's coming into the studio. He doesn't know it yet, but he is.
Yeah, I guess he is, yeah.
He doesn't have a job, so we know he can be here.
All right. Heck yeah, dude.
So Ryzen CPUs, I think it's or Ryzen CPUs. I guess it's about that time. They've got a couple different ones, but the ones we're going to talk about are the ones that matter, which are the 1700X and the 1800X, and they look really impressive. I mean, AMD is stepping up their game.
In the videos I saw from CES, or was it at CES?
I think it was at CES.
Yeah. Well, from the videos I saw, where they actually had them the same specs on each machine, they were demoing, obviously different motherboards, but they were demoing the AMD their processor, their new Ryzen processors versus the newest Intel processors, Kaby Lake. And
oh no, I thought they were demoing them against the Skylake, because those videos came out before Kaby Lake. So it was the 6000 series to the 7000 series. But the 7000 series didn't really have a big gain against the 6000, so it's not really something you should worry about.
Yeah, well, they were competing really nicely with them, and they were beating them by a decent margin. But again, they're picking their battles. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're obviously not gonna stack up a processor that's better than theirs and put it in for the demo, but they were still, I mean, the price points, the Intel was more expensive. I'm really loving the price points.
Yeah. From what I understand, the comparisons are this: the Ryzen 1700X is the competitor for the i7 6800. And apparently it, in most cases, outperforms and, in worst case, performs exactly like the i7 6800K for $100 cheaper. And then the i7 6900K versus the Ryzen 1800X for $500 less gives you the exact same performance and even better performance on multi-thread processes. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, ever since the FX series came out, never mind, scratch that. Ever since the Haswell came out from Intel, they've just been blowing AMD out of the water, and they've just been like eating up the market. And now AMD's stepped up their game, and they're bringing it all back, and they've disrupted the market. And like, I've been reading a lot of articles where they said that AMD was about to disrupt the market, and now that I see the comparisons between AMD and Intel's newest models, I mean, that is a significant phrase. They're about to change everything. I mean, people are gonna start switching over from Intel to AMD, at least until the next series of Intel processors come out.
I know that most people won't really care about this little tidbit, but if any of you had stock in AMD, I was going to buy stocks last night. Like I just do it kind of for fun. I don't buy big stocks. Most of them I don't really go above 30 per share. But AMD, their trend is insane. It went up 600%. Oh, wow. If you had like $1,000 invested in them, cash out now, buy a new car.
Hey, we didn't even talk about the coolest part of the Ryzen CPUs yet. Apparently, the stock coolers have RGBs.
This is true.
They are just changing the game out here.
It's pretty insane. It's just a ring around that's RGB, color changing. I mean, it's awesome. Also, right at launch, which I guess is the 22nd, which is today, but they'll be hearing this like next week. At launch, 80 different motherboards that work with these processors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I believe the processors are unlocked, or a couple of them are unlocked. And if you're a person like me, like I never buy a not unlocked processor just because it's important to me to be able to juice my processor for all the power it can possibly have. I mean, I'm paying good money for something. I want it to be able to do as much as possible and not be limited. So I'm pretty sure it's either every processor is unlocked or every processor has a version that's unlocked. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but there is the option to have an unlocked processor, and that's what matters to me.
Yeah, which is awesome. But this has to be thrown out there. From what I could see in some research that I've been doing, there are not a lot of processors that are overclock capable that are coming out for this line. And I forget what they said. Oh, it's their new architecture for the processor that allows it for better multitasking. They were talking about how streaming and gaming at the same time isn't a hassle at all.
And it'll be faster. You'll get less dropped frames on your stream, apparently.
Yeah. And I forget what's different about the architecture, but it's something about the fibers that they use that actually communicate better. And
it's the communication between every individual core is more efficient.
Yeah. But also, the processor knows how to multitask better, too. Mm-hmm. So, that'll be really nice for anyone who's a Twitch streamer or whatnot.
I mean, I generally, I just upgraded from 2 monitors to 4 monitors. And I can see how, I multitask doing everything. I'm never only doing one thing. Even when I'm gaming, I'm writing an essay. So, my computer's ability to multitask is extremely important to me, and that's I'm actually considering getting one of these new Ryzen CPUs purely for that reason. I might sell off my i7 for this, but probably not.
Okay. Yeah. I would upgrade. I don't really have the cash right now, but once I do, I think I'm right now I'm trying to buy a new lens.
Yeah.
$600 for this lens.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an 85 millimeter 1.4. It's nice.
How much do you think, if you made the lens yourself, how much do you think the materials would cost, and how much time do you think it's worth it?
I don't know.
What do you think the profit margins are on one of those lenses? We apologize for the rice burner going by.
It's like a weird retarded motorcycle. But the profit margin for a lens, I don't even know, because I don't know how to work glass.
Yeah.
So in lenses, we're completely off the topic of CPUs, but in lenses, the reason why there's a different price range is because when you're buying the $80 to $200 lenses, most times the actual glass that you look through isn't glass at all. It's plastic or plexiglass sort of things. And inside of a lens, they aren't just sheets of glass. It's actually glass that bends and has its different dome shapes at different depths that actually give you the field of view that you have. But honestly, if I just cut the bottom off a couple bowls and threw it together, I mean, for them, they're mass producing it. Most times they're using cheap metal. They powder coat it. I mean, they could probably build a lens for $30-$40.
So the profit margins might be huge.
Yeah. Heck,
We're in the wrong industry.
I know. I need to start building lenses. Too bad most people only trust Japanese lenses or Zeiss lenses, which are, I think, German.
So what else is going on? What else can we talk about here?
I mean, we're getting a new pet for the office. Yeah.
We're getting a new pet for the office. Who's that?
Say a leopard gecko.
We're getting a leopard? Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
Named Sid.
Oh, that's exciting.
Sid the leopard gecko.
He can hang out with our office plant Beelzebub.
This plant is literally it's not supposed to be as big as it is, and it's pretty. I don't know. It's just we named it that for. If you guys saw it, you would know.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. It's growing out of a broken beer bottle that has bullets in the bottom of it. It's just It's a scary plant. It's going to rule the world one day. You heard it here first.
I found it, and I showed up with it, and it just keeps on growing. But, yeah, so we're getting a leopard gecko. I was thinking Sid could just live right there. We could clear off the part of the desk.
What if we put Beelzebub in the leopard gecko's enclosure? Pretty sure that thing I'm pretty sure that's a succulent, so it's supposed to be in a warmer biome than this. So if we put it in I'm guessing the leopard gecko has a heat lamp.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we put it in there, that thing would grow fast.
I feel like the leopard gecko might not survive the winter in here, though.
Oh, maybe not. Well, I mean, we can always keep the heater on.
Yeah, that's true.
That heater does good stuff. And the winter's almost over anyway, so...
Yeah, we won't have to worry about it. I mean, it's lived in a dark basement its entire life. So the story...
Please don't sue us, PETA.
The story behind this leopard gecko is this chick wanted a leopard gecko, so she bought a leopard gecko. Five days after buying it, decides this gecko sucks. She doesn't like it anymore and stuck it on the street corner.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
And my brother knew who this person was, saw it on her Snap story that she was just leaving this thing here, drove by her house, saw the gecko sitting next to the trash, and literally grabbed it, put it in his car, brought it home, and
now it's part of the family.
But we're moving, so it's not coming with us. My brother doesn't want to take care of it anymore because he's a terrible pet owner, and
we'll take good care of him here.
Yeah, so
we will feed him the finest of liquors and bring him the finest of whores.
Now, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, so... But, yeah. Should we keep that in the podcast?
Yeah, we should definitely keep that in the podcast.
All right. But, yeah, so that's our new pet.
How to get the name Sid?
If you look at it, it looks like a Sid.
Does it kind of look like the guy Sid from Ice Age? Because if so, that's awesome.
I mean, that's a whole different species, but
does he have big bulbous eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's definitely a Sid.
But also, I thought, what's the name of that weird lizard from man, I can't think of it. It's Monster Inc.
Weird lizard. Oh, the creepy reptile guy that can turn invisible.
Isn't that guy's name Sid?
I don't think that guy's name's Sid. No.
Oh, well,
it's like Rascal or something like that, or Ralph.
Rafiki.
Randall.
Oh, Randall. Yeah. Well, we're getting to Sid, not a Randall.
Sid. Yeah. All right, so we're just about to hit 25 minutes, so I think it's about time we wrap it up. This has been episode 3 of the Chimera podcast.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening.
As always, be sure to check out our social media, including our Twitter and our Facebook, and the blog posts on our blog, because some of those don't suck. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to see whenever a new podcast comes out.
Yeah, and have a nice day and or night, whatever.
Or morning.
Whatever
time it is where you are. Bye-bye.
Bye.